In the ancient valley of Elah, two armies stood frozen in fear. On one side, the Israelites, tired, discouraged, and overwhelmed. On the other, the Philistines, confident, arrogant, empowered by one man, a warrior so towering, so terrifying, that his very presence crushed hope. His name was Goliath, the giant of Gath. He stood nearly 3 meters tall, covered from head to toe in bronze armor. His spear was as thick as a weaver's beam, and his voice thundered across the valley. Every morning, for 40 days, Goliath approached the battlefield and shouted, "Choose a man to fight me. If he wins, we will be your servants, but if I kill him, you will be ours." No one moved. No one dared. Fear held Israel hostage. But God was writing a different story, through someone no one expected. Not a soldier, not a trained warrior, but a shepherd boy. His name was David. David arrived at the battlefield only to bring food to his brothers. He wasn't part of the army. He wasn't invited to fight. He wasn't even considered old enough to be a soldier. But when he heard the giant mocking God and intimidating his people, something ignited inside him. Not pride, not arrogance, but a holy courage. A courage born from faith. David asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" The men around him were shocked, but David's words reached King Saul, who summoned him. Saul looked at David, young, small, inexperienced, and saw impossibility. But David spoke with absolute conviction. "I have fought lions and bears while protecting my father's sheep. The Lord delivered me then, and he will deliver me now." Saul reluctantly agreed and placed his royal armor on David, but it was too heavy, too uncomfortable, too unfamiliar. David removed it. He wouldn't fight with human strength. He wouldn't trust in weapons or armor. His confidence was in God alone. So David walked down into the valley with only his shepherd's staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones taken from a nearby stream. As he approached, Goliath saw him and laughed. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" He cursed David by his gods and roared, "Come here, and I will feed your flesh to the birds." But David stood firm and replied with words that shook the heavens, "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin. But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, whom you have defied." A silence swept across the valley. Then the giant moved, like a mountain charging forward. But David didn't back away. He ran toward Goliath. With steady hands and fearless faith, he placed a stone in his sling, spun it with power and precision, and released. The stone cut through the air like lightning and struck Goliath in the forehead, the only unprotected place on his body. The giant staggered, his strength vanished, and with a thunderous crash, Goliath fell face down to the earth. The impossible became reality. David ran to the fallen warrior, took the giant's own sword, and finished the battle. The Philistines, once proud and mocking, fled in terror as the Israelites surged forward with shouts of victory. That day everything changed. A shepherd became a hero, a boy became a warrior, and the world learned a truth that echoes through every generation. God does not save by sword or spear. Victory belongs to the Lord. The story of David and Goliath isn't just about a boy defeating a giant. It's about faith defeating fear, purpose defeating intimidation, divine power overwhelming human strength. Because giants still rise today, not always in size, but in the form of problems, doubts, anxieties, and battles we face. And like David, we conquer them not by our own strength, but by trusting the God who fights for us. So remember this truth. It's not the size of the giant that decides the outcome, but the size of your faith in the one who goes before you.